If there's a shock, money flows out just as quickly.
True.
There's been calls for safeguards. Are we properly, protected from any vulnerabilities?
Yes, the money flow right now is we're estimating that the money flow is currently they're mainly from United States. Their investment style is more long-term basis, long-term investment basis compared to European money. The European money is more like you said, there are more hot money style investment, but we're estimating that the U.S. market is right now aggressively investing the Korean equity market.
So do you think the Kospi will reach the 2100 mark?
I don't know, maybe not, but our house view is pretty optimistic about the Kospi level, but not just the foreign investors, but also the institutional investors and individual investors should be supportive to the foreign investor to reach the 2,100 level.
Well, the continued buying by foreign investors boosted the Korean won to its highest level in 9 months. Should we be concerned about any trickle-down effects to the economy, or does it present a good opportunity?
I guess the Korean won is the Korean companies already experienced under the 1,001 level, so I think the 1,060 level is not a matter of concern for them. Also, the FX, the BOK, Bank of Korea, is cautiously watching the FX market, so that the won is likely to rebound from my point of view. And yeah, that's it.
Well, what are some of the key economic indicators or signs that we should look out for?
On Friday, the third quarter GDP of Korea will be announced on Friday, which our house view is at 3.4, which is 3-point level is actually first time in 7 quarters. The second quarter was a 2.3, yes, 2.3. So you have to watch the GDP indicator. Also, if you have to also watch the China index as well.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your insight into the market.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Before your day ends and another begins, get the latest news live from Seoul.
Residents whose features
restrictions is on the rise.
closing ceremony.
Expert analysis from Asia's heartbeat.
The legislature circumstances that
With a viewpoint only Korea's global network can provide.
the United States, the latest report less than
Unrivaled access from a team always on standby.
meaning came on to maneuver, trying to cover up the South's true intentions in maintaining confrontation.
Taking you now to Australia, where the bushfire nightmare is now into its 5th day. Authorities there say it is going to be a tense week for the people in eastern part of the nation as they're still struggling to control the blaze. And there are growing fears that the 3 main fires could merge. Han Da-eun has this report.
Firefighters in New South Wales, Australia, who have been working against the clock for days, battling one of the most destructive bushfires ever to hit the nation, say the 3 main blazes are at risk of joining into one fire front. The state's rural fire services told reporters Monday that the state-mined fire near Lithgow was at risk of merging with a fire at Mount Victoria. The state has declared a state of emergency as homes have been destroyed or damaged, leaving hundreds homeless, while more than a dozen fires are still reeling out of control. Officials say conditions will worsen this week, peaking on Wednesday with warm weather and strong winds.
Up tomorrow, it's overcast, it's cooler. They shouldn't think that the crisis is over. With the forecast gusts and winds tomorrow, it's every bit as bad as it was over the last couple of days.
The exact cause of the fires across the state remain unclear, but officials say a blaze near Lithgow may have been caused by a military training exercise. Authorities have advised nearby communities to consider evacuating ahead of the worsening weather conditions. One man has died so far, reportedly of a heart attack while trying to protect his home. Han Da-eun, Arirang News.
The Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe has given a permission to shoot down any foreign drones that intrude into Japanese airspace if warnings to leave are ignored. Sources close to the government say that the Defense Ministry's plan to revise the rules of engagement when it comes to foreign drones that are intruding into Japanese airspace has gotten the initial green light from the Prime Minister. The new protocol, if formally approved, will enable air self-defense force fighters to shoot down an unmanned plane. The move comes after Chinese military drone flew into Japan's air zone last month near the disputed Senkaku Islands. Beijing claims the island, which it calls Diaoyu, as Chinese territory. Analysts say the move is a demonstration of Tokyo's readiness to respond to any acts that violate its sovereignty.
Improving your daily driving habits could save you hundreds of dollars in gas every year and hopefully save you the headache of getting into a traffic accident. In order to drive this point home, Korea hosted an annual fuel efficiency competition to see how far drivers nationwide can stretch a single tank. Paul Yi reports on Driving Smart.
48 of Korea's best drivers gathered in Seoul earlier this month to show off their skills. However, this particular race rewards those who take it slow and steady. This so-called King of Fuel Efficiency contest has been held each of the last 4 years, with a new division added this year for trucks. Vehicles are carefully monitored as they drive along this 11-kilometer course around Seoul World Cup Stadium. Each of the standardized cars' gas mileage has been rated at 11.9 kilometers per liter of fuel. But the top 19 drivers were able to easily drive farther than the official metric. This year's top driver was able to stretch his fuel consumption to up to 18.7 kilometers per liter. That quickly adds up to fuel savings of $700 to $3,500 per year. Professional drivers say the key to unlocking this extra distance lies in inertial driving.
Your overall strategy is to adapt your engine strength as you drive. Don't brake suddenly and try to use the car's inertia to help you move. When you do have to come to a stop, do it slowly. You should anticipate when the car in front has to stop and change gears accordingly.
It's important to recognize that these smarter driving techniques not only result in considerable economical savings, but also improve road safety, meaning you'll be doing your part to save lives as well. Paul Yi, Arirang News.
October has been designated by the government as the month of culture, and the number of events offering enrichment have lived up to the honor. But our cultural correspondent Park Ji-won reports that you better hurry as November will soon make its appearance.
Here at Culture Station 284, a multidisciplinary space for arts and culture, housed in the old Seoul train station, a group of undergraduate architecture students are installing an exhibition about their field of study.
Regular citizens might feel that architecture is inaccessible to them, so we're aiming to bridge the gap by showing something about the life of an architecture major.
The project is part of a month-long celebration commemorating the Month of Culture in Korea. The government designated October as the Month of Culture and October 19th as the Day of Culture back in 1972. But this year, with the Park Geun-hye administration having declared cultural enrichment as one of its key national goals, the celebration has grown. This month, there are some 1,200 events taking place around the country.
I think it's great that these events are not only for government officials or artists. We citizens can enjoy a variety of events with our families. My family got a chance to perform at one of the events, and we also got to see other people perform.
Also, as part of the celebration, 5 of the most beloved Korean poems, as chosen in an online poll, are being displayed around Gwanghwamun Square through the end of the month in an exhibition co-organized by the Culture Ministry and the Society of Korean Poets. The organizers hope the poems will provide passerby with a moment of relaxation and a bit of inspiration for the rest of their day. Park Ji-won, Arirang News.
The National Sports Festival continues in Incheon with the top sports stars from around South Korea competing for medal finishes.
But it seems like a certain swimmer is a stroke above the rest. Stephen Che joins us to tell us all about it. Stephen.
Hey guys, the swimmer we're talking about is none other than the Marine boy, Park Tae-hwan, who's having much success in the pool. And it seems fitting as the pool was named in his honor days before the sports festival opened. Over the weekend, he earned gold medals for his performances in the 400-meter freestyle and the 4x100-meter relay. And on Monday, he earned his third gold, this time for the 200-meter freestyle, clocking in at 1 minute 46 seconds, 0.42 seconds. Now he's looking to add more hardware in the 8x100-meter relay and the 400-meter medley relay on the 22nd and 24th, respectively. Now moving on, the KBO's Korean series is now set between the Tusan Bears and the Samsung Lions. The Lions, having won first place in the regular season, earned their ticket to the Korean series and were waiting for a team to emerge from the playoffs. And that team is the Tusan Bears, who came back from near elimination by the Nexen Heroes in the first round to defeat the LG Twins in round 2. Now, will Samsung complete the three-peat, or will Tusan get the fairy tale ending? Game 1 of the Korean series begins on Thursday at 6 p.m. in Daegu. And finally, let's finish with some basketball. Well, there are no games played today, so let's get right to the standings. We have Mobis sitting on top of the leaderboard with a perfect record, defeating their opponents by an average margin of 28 points per game. SK and Dongbu are tied at second with 3 games apiece, while KCC, KT, and LG have 3 wins to go with their 2 losses. Now we go on to the bottom half. ET Land, unable to find their stride, is at 7th with 2 wins. Samsung and the Orions share 8th with 1 win each, and KGC is off to a horrible start, dropping 5 straight games. Now that does it for me here in the Sports Center. This has been Stephen Che. Check back at midnight for the latest in the world of sports.
Well, we started the week off with another bright autumn day.
Yes, but I hear another round of cold autumn weather is on its way. For details, let's go over to our Kim Bo-kyung at the Weather Center. Bo-kyung?
Hey guys, as you mentioned, Jihae, temperatures will drop towards the end of the week, so enjoy the mild temperatures while you can. Now moving on to our satellite map. As you can see, we have relatively clear skies across the map, but it is looking cloudy in the East Coast regions due to winds blowing from the west. Now tomorrow should be another beautiful sunny autumn day. However, there may be light passing showers in Jeju and the East Coast regions. So if you're in those regions, have a small umbrella with you just in case. Now there looks to be 2 tropical storms, Francisco and Likima, which are expected to hit the east coast of Japan around Thursday. As the storm may indirectly affect Korea's weather, our viewers in Korea should check back in for updates as the week progresses. Now taking a look at tomorrow's numbers. Seoul and Busan reach 22 degrees, meanwhile Daegu peaks at 21. Moving on, Daejeon and Jeju make it to the low 20s, and Mount Kumgang tops out at 8 degrees. That's all for now, and I'll be back with more updates after midnight.
And that's our broadcast on this Monday night. I'm Yoo Ji-hae in Seoul.
And I'm Sean Lim. Thanks for joining us. Have a great evening. We'll see you soon.
the mini shops being open 24 hours.
The 24-hour service, the places you can get, I like beer, so go and get a beer with my friend in the 24-hour convenience store. That's really good, so I'm happy with that.
I like Dongdaemun Market.
Dongdaemun Market was really interesting, but we went there a little too early, so a lot of the stores were still closed.
Well, I've been there before, but it's really nice because there's many shops and different Korean designers, and I like that because I can pick up different clothes which are different and a bit quirky.